December 23rd, 2012. I am bathed in an effulgence of a consummating epiphany continuously. Though it ebbs and flows with the vicissitudes of time and all the concerns rooted in time, all that exists experiences a beginning, middle, and end. As my detachment becomes near or remote with time and all its concerns, I am informed of realizations hitherto unbeknownst. This is the spiritual experience. This is what all religions aim. This is the purpose to organized religion, but lost in the very vicissitudes concerning time and all that has existence. I am crucified by those rooted in vicissitude. The individual personal concerns of time is what this they who crucify me construct as a gilded cage to protect and separate, alienate themselves from the effulgence all round about, life as a type of secret informing agent, as it were. For ultimately, it is beyond time, it is timeless, and, accordingly, eternal. The thing this they says they strive for is what they hide from with their strongest efforts. For there is no struggle in the eternal, though it encompasses all striving and struggling, just as it equally encompasses the static and at rest. So it is in the eternal that the efforts of one do not disprove the effortlessness of another, but, on the contrary, the exception proves the rule. I do this for fun. This is fun for me, and it brings purpose and meaning to me to think that I have in some way objectified, brought into the objective realm, an aspect of my being that can be represented. And it could be represented over and over. But I'm really not concerned about the over and over. I'm just concerned about presenting myself. And, I meet resistance in the world, and I don't always have an opportunity to share everything I'm experiencing with those that are around me. And this helps me to drain myself of myself, so that when I go out and I'm with others and I'm doing things with others, I can be there with them where they are at. And I always bring myself with me, of course, but there's this selflessness that I agree with, this compassion where we can release our concerns for a moment and just enter into the concerns of others. And this is a small crucifixion, as it were. I'm really not concerned with, well, it concerns me deeply that there's this competition and strife and struggling in the world, because I really feel that when I feel offended by someone else's striving, it's not rooted in me, it's rooted in their inability to express themselves in such a way as to not be offensive. I was talking to another friend the other day about how woman is, the saying, woman is, man does. And in man's doing, he becomes very self-responsible. And he can't blame anybody but himself. There's nothing for him to blame. And this self-responsibility to make his way in the world, I find women laughing at. They joke about it. I find women laughing and giggling at the self-importance of men, how men think of themselves so self-importantly, like they have to do things, they've got to get their way, they've got to make it happen for themselves. That's just all rooted in self-responsibility, whereas women can just laugh it off, as if being self-responsible is a joke. And what I find very interesting as well is that I find a tremendous amount of compassion and caring and loving with women. So they can throw off this self-responsibility as if it's a joke, but also at the same time, naturally, they're very caring and loving. And this brings up this idea of, is it nature or nurture? So do we need to really nurture and challenge and struggle to be better persons that are self-responsible individuals? Or do we need to be like the ladies are laughing at us and throw it off and just be ourselves, and it'll come of itself, naturally? So there's this nature and nurture dichotomy. And so I was explaining to my friend, man going out in the world on his own to be a self-responsible individual can become very insecure, and he can feel a strong sense of wanting to return to the female to bring him security and safety, like a surrogate mother. And there's this ebb and flow, like I was talking about, that I have this consummating epiphany all the time. I'm bathed in it. It's this effulgent experience that I'm bathed in all the time, where I have this realization. And that is like a surrogate womb, so to say, this returning to that euphoric state of bliss, as it were.